Hey YouTube, been a little while since I made an update video. Figured I'd update you guys on the 2 Fluval 13.5 gallon system with a 20-gallon sump. As you can see, it's not just 2 Fluvals anymore. Well, 2 tanks I should say. I got this 16-gallon one up here. I got the Fluval on the right, and I just finally added this third Fluval here. I used a lot of branching, Tonga branching live rock in there. I added a piece of live rock from the other tank. It's got a little bit of algae on there to seed it, so hopefully if it even cycles, it'll be a very quick cycle. On top for the light, I have a AI prime right there, and it's beautiful. Love the shimmer on those lights. It's a perfect light for this size tank. It's been a little while since I updated. Lots of changes with the tanks here, and then some not so much. As you can see, the H. Aurora anemone is just continuing to get bigger. He's getting pretty massive over there. My anemone, my clownfish over here, Bertha and Black Widow, are continuing to be a pair. They haven't had any aggression between the two, which is nice. As you can see, my worm fans here, or fan worms, they're continuing to multiply. They're almost all the way up the back side of the tank now. My bubble tip anemones are continuing to grow. They're finally starting to get back to showing some nice, decent color. Had a lot of issues. I found out what my issue was. I was changing 5 gallons of water every week, and it just wasn't creating a stable environment for them. So I've tuned down my water changes to once every 3 weeks now, and things are starting to settle in. They're starting to grow. Everything's looking good. I added some macroalgae here. This is red pom-pom macroalgae. You get it at Algae Barn. Beautiful, beautiful algae. I actually really love it in the tank. Looks amazing in there. Added this guy here. This is a small little clam. He's about, I'd say, maybe 3 inches. Might be pushing it. He's pretty small. He's about yay big. Love it. He's been awesome. I wouldn't recommend getting a clam unless your tank is over a year old. They need lots and lots to filter feed, especially at that size. And you also need a stronger light. And right now I just have an old AI, one of the Wi-Fi editions on there. I don't know if it's a Prime. I think it's a Prime, not the HD version, just a regular AI Prime. And that thing's been keeping this tank lit pretty nicely. One of my fellow reefers gave me a couple little starter SPS corals here, and gotta say, they're doing pretty good, other than Bertha, my clownfish, keeps knocking them over because, you know, they like to do decorating. My elegance coral's getting huge, about 6 inches by maybe, I'd say about 6 inches by 7 inches. He's getting pretty good sized over here. He continues to eat mysis from the water column whenever I feed him. Biggest addition, though, is this third tank here. I put some, what do you call it, Tonga branching live rock. This live rock is actually really awesome. It's wide enough to where I could set some corals on top of it. And I think I'm going to do a little zoa garden and some mushrooms in there. You know, I put 20 pounds of live sand in there. This is the Fiji pink live sand. It's 20 pounds. I like having a little bit of a deeper sand bed, you know, in case I get any critters that like being in there, like Anasaria snails or anything that likes to bury themselves. Maybe even another blue spotted jawfish, since mine jumped when my coworker left the lid off. Unfortunately, my fault. I was on vacation and she was helping me feed. Now the mixed reef I have up here. The Gogonian coral up there is doing amazing. Let's see if I can get a better shot. Yeah, he's doing great. I had a little bit of recession on the back left side there, but it's starting to grow back now and looking pretty good. My mushroom box, all mushrooms are doing really well in there. I don't know if you can see, I got 4 of them in there. Kind of hard to see them, but really happy with it. It keeps the low flow in there. I'm probably gonna end up moving those mushrooms down to the other Fluval. I had issues with my tiger striped jawfish. He redecorated my tank over here, so I had to I had to move everything back around, and the sand bed's all messed up. But as you can see, that everything's out and happy finally. My last head of torch is doing pretty good now, finally back up to where it should be. Hopefully it survives. We'll see. It looks like it's kind of sort of starting to split there in the middle, but we'll see. This guy here, this dendro colony, has been awesome. You just feed him mysis once or twice a week and they're happy. My fuzzy Gagonian coral here, really awesome. He's actually knocked over a little bit because of the once again the tiger tail jawfish has made a playground of my fish tank here. Duncan colony started with 6 heads. I got probably like 11 or 12 of them on there now. And then my GSP's just growing like a weed up there. So overall, things are looking good, and hopefully they will continue to do so. As far as in the future, it'll be working on this tank. I'm thinking about maybe putting a mangrove on the top of the rock there as well, just for some filter feeding. I ended up not attaching this one to the sump. The reason being is I wanted a separate water volume just in case I had any corals that just weren't thriving in the other tank there. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, comments, go ahead and leave them below. Otherwise, we'll see you guys next time. Take care.